When you think of off-roading and the modern small truck segment, I'll bet the Toyota Tacoma comes to mind first. It's synonymous with the outdoors enthusiast lifestyle, whether it be the new Taco or an old Taco. But there's an underdog who has been giving the Taco a run for its money for years, and that is the Nissan Frontier. Hey fellas and fellettes, I'm that car guy Tim. Welcome to this week's episode and thanks for tuning in. As I mentioned before the intro, Tacoma is the king of the kings when it comes to off-road outdoorsy lifestyles. But there's an underdog that's worth a good look, and that's the Nissan Frontier. Let me explain. First though, a little bit of background. After both trucks graduated from their hard body years, 1997 saw the introduction of the D22, which received a facelift in 2001, which lasted till the D40 was premiered in 2004. This version of the truck used the Nissan F-Alpha platform on a fully boxed ladder frame and modeled exterior styling from the full-size Titan of the time. 2004 also saw the debut of the famed 4-liter VQ40 DE V6 engine. In 2009, the D40 received a facelift, improved steering angle in North America, among other updated exterior and interior features. The D40 might look familiar outside of North America because they're nearly identical to the D40 global platform. The D40 lasted in this form all the way till 2020 when Nissan chucked in the new 3.8-liter V6 and 9-speed auto in place of the previous 5-speed to test the newly designed engine and transmission before they repackaged it all into the next generation D41, which was the first major redesign of the Frontier in nearly 2 decades. In 2025, the Frontier received a mid-cycle refresh which included some new tech and design updates. So why does all this history matter? Well, the Frontier is a no-nonsense, small but tough, old-school, know-your-roots kind of truck. It's the only mid-sized truck that comes standard with a naturally aspirated V6 as opposed to the turbo 4 cylinders in its competitors. The Frontier knows its crowd, and Nissan knows that Canada and the US need a simple, durable, old-school character mid-sized pickup that puts down power in a more utilitarian manner in the low to mid RPMs. This truck knows itself and stays true to what works best. Driving the Frontier, there's little hiding the body-on-frame configuration with back-to-basics feedback to the driver, which is great. It's playful, nimble, and a riot to drive around, especially with the Pro 4X in its natural habitat. Part of the character resides in the fact that Nissan just couldn't afford to fit an electric steering system into the Frontier, so it keeps the hydraulic power steering, honestly, which it actually benefits the truck with more steering sensitivity on the trail. Although the new Frontiers feature the 3.8-liter V6 instead of the 4-liter, fuel efficiency is still not great, though it's decently well known through generations that you don't buy a Nissan for spectacular fuel economy. You buy it for the miles per gallon mentality. And on that, it sure does deliver. Another advantage to the Frontier is the Utilitrack system, allowing you to move the bed anchors nearly anywhere you need them. I've used mine and honestly, I kind of struggle to remember how I even tied things down and organized the bed of my truck without the Utilitrack. Inside the truck, Frontier carries its get-the-job-done, utilitarian, simplistic ways to the cab. There's no nonsense in the cab, and it speaks to the simplicity and humble brilliance of the truck. In a world full of gigantic screens bigger than the family TV in 1997, Frontier has plenty of physical buttons, switches, and dials on offer, an ode to the cost savings that get passed on to the consumer. It's obvious in multiple generations of this truck that the Frontier was built to last with tough and rugged materials and design. Frontier's strength is in its character. Honestly, Nissan's perfectly content with a truck that just works. A truck that's reliable and simple and gonna last a long time and capitalizes on its strengths. The aftermarket support for this truck is plentiful if you know where to look. It's not as large and in your face as Tacoma aftermarket suppliers. The Frontier doesn't try to outperform the competition. It relies on simple, proven methods that make it easy to repair on the track, cheap to fix in the shop, and draw you in with great feedback to the driver via old school technology with solid bones and puppy dog handling. Frontier also leans heavily on a solid reliability track record, offering decent value for the money. To put it plain and simple, Frontier is a solid contender against Tacoma. Sure, Tacoma beats Frontier in a number of ways, but for those who aren't wanting to pay the Toyota tax and are okay with skipping out on the fancy gadgets and doodads that Tacoma offers, Frontier offers a solid, tough, and rugged truck that just oozes character with the old school approach that honestly the small to mid-sized pickup truck segment has lost. Prices in Canada for the Frontier start at just over 50 grand for the SV and stay in the 50s, topping at 59 grand for the top of the line Pro 4X Luxury. Tacoma, on the other hand, starts at 51 grand for the base SR5 and all the way to nearly 70 grand for the Trail Hunter trim. For those on a budget or want a solid, proven, and reliable truck that's easy to fix on the side of the trail or limp out with a bush fix, I would strongly recommend taking a look at the Frontier. Like I said, aftermarket support is quite hidden for these trucks, so some clever sleuthing is required to find some fantastic aftermarket support. One company I've come across that is worth a gander is Z1 Off-Road, catering primarily to the Nissan crowd, which is rare. Like the trucks, Z1 has some fantastic pricing that won't break the bank, meaning you'll actually have money to have fun in your Frontier. So there you have it, the Underdog explained. It's a great option for those of us who can't get over the financial hump of the Toyota tax. Do you own a Frontier, or has this video made you curious about a Frontier? Maybe even consider one? What do you think? Leave a comment down below and let's keep talking about the Frontier versus the Tacoma. It's a really great conversation. Let's keep going. Thanks so much for watching though. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and ring the bell to be the first in the know. I'm that car guy, Tim. We'll see you next time. And as always, have fun, get her done.